Tara Knott. We're so privileged to have you here today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So you're not a resident here, but I feel like you are. So how many weddings have you done at the West Mill and the River Mill so far in total, do you reckon?
Oh my God.
I'm putting you on the spot.
50?
Yeah, exactly. So you know your stuff. Now your story is really interesting because you ended up launching your brand in COVID, didn't you? So a lot of people, like ourselves, suffered during COVID. However, you didn't. Now tell us a bit more about your story.
So I actually started my business about 12 years ago, but I was just hiring out vintage china. It was very different to what it is now. And I decided to rebrand, and I rebranded as myself as Tara Knott, and I did that 2 weeks before we went into lockdown. So obviously,
the timing couldn't be worse.
Absolutely terrible. So basically everything cancelled overnight, but I just used that as an opportunity to work with venues like yourself, and we just got creative when we were allowed to. So things like styled shoots, open events, when we could do those things, and that was a massive benefit for me.
Yeah, and actually I suppose it was a really good opportunity to be able to really launch your Instagram and just get the followers up and actually get your face out there in a virtual world, which was kind of so what we were used to then.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I met with lots of new people that I'd never worked with before, so it was brilliant from that point of view.
Yeah, the Instagram community is amazing though, isn't it?
Yeah.
So obviously, pressured, with couples, there's a lot of baggage going on, isn't there? We love our couples, but however, big days are there's a lot of importance on them, they have to be perfect. Do you feel the pressure in terms of having all that on yourself?
I suppose if you think about it like that, yes, when you word it like that, but actually when you're working with a couple, they know exactly what you're going to be doing, and there shouldn't be any surprises. And if you're going to book a wedding stylist, unless you're not going to be a control freak, because you're letting somebody else do that for
Hold
you.
The reins,
so we almost work with a different kind of couple, I suppose, who are quite relaxed. And like I say, there's never any surprises.
Yeah. What would you say the most out there wedding you've done so far, or even event? Because you're not just weddings, are you?
No, I've done a few actually. I've done a surprise proposal in the Peak District.
Oh my gosh, amazing.
Which was basically a 250 metre climb, taking tables and chairs, everything. It was just a field.
Wow.
And then we had to wait for the couple to arrive, wait for them to go to their cabin, and then follow them back with the clues and then go and hide. So that was really good. I normally get a couple of those a year. And then I also did a first birthday housewarming, and that was just amazing. They had gone all out, and it was just brilliant.
What makes you different, Tara, do you think, from other stylists out there? Because obviously it is quite, the big market now, isn't it, for, stylists. It was a bit of a not so much present, when we first started 9 years ago.
Yeah, definitely. There's lots of amazing stylists, and I think it's a hard question because it's not necessarily what makes me different, but I think you buy from people, don't you? And it's a personal choice. So I'm not for everyone, and that's okay, and there is a place for everyone. So I think it's just, we have a signature style. We love working with like colour and lots of florals and all those sorts of things, which doesn't necessarily make us different, but I think that's why people choose us.
Yeah, definitely. Should we take a seat?
Yes, do it.
The job satisfaction wise, obviously we've talked about it a little bit, but obviously what's the best, when you've actually, gone to a new venue, let's just not talk about ourselves once. Let's talk about a new venue and actually having this blank canvas and then decorating it throughout. What would you say is the biggest buzz that you get when you've left the venue and you think, yeah, nailed it?
I think it's seeing it all come together. So we did a wedding last week. It was a 2-day wedding. The first day was Hindu ceremony, and the second day was the Western.
2 days.
So it was a 2-day wedding, and with that, obviously we're setting up outdoor ceremony, then we're back indoor, we're setting up the tables, and it was a really big setup, not in terms of the numbers that were coming to the wedding, but just in terms of what we needed to do. So we had a bigger team for that one, and it was, I felt amazing afterwards when it was done, and they were happy, and I think that's the most important thing, that they've had a really nice day and they were happy with what we did.
Yeah, little ray of sunshine. And you must have got lovely cards and letters, and we get lots here, which is very nice, but you must get so much because you've worked with them on a journey, haven't you?
You feel like, certainly in COVID, we were working with people for maybe 3 or 4 years. I felt like I should have been their bridesmaid.
We were a bit offended that you weren't.
But we build up a great relationship with people, so that's always lovely. And you know, getting the thank yous and the reviews, which is really nice.
Let's have a cheers to you.
Cheers.
Let's have a drink. And what's so obviously wedding season we're in the thick of it, really, aren't we? With June,
Yeah.
I know it doesn't feel like it with the weather.
Yeah.
How do you cope under pressure? Do you have like a bit of a tick box in your head, thinking, right, I'm going to get through this way by this way? Or
I'm just really organised.
Yeah.
And I will be, so weddings that are happening in a few weeks' time, I'm already mentally packing those. Everybody will get their packing list the week of the wedding to double check anything. And I guess there's never anything we can't sort out on the day, unless the wedding was like miles away. Generally we work locally. There's only ever a few that will go further afield. But yeah, just making sure that we're really organised and
do you have like your little favourite shops that you need to get emergencies from? If you know on the day, like, oh, actually, we wanted this, and you know, you always have a backup plan.
Yeah.
You always have a backup
plan. I mean, Amazon's always going to help us out, isn't it? But Sostring Green, which is great in town, H&M Home, Flying Tiger,
yeah,
TK Maxx. There's loads of we get loads of different pieces from places like that if we need them. Yeah,
brilliant. And you haven't had any horror stories so far?
Not so far. I don't want to jinx it.
No, you shouldn't jinx it. Sorry, don't jinx it. Didn't jinx it. What's your favourite venue? And don't feel like obliged to say us, because you do not need to.
I mean, obviously, I do love working here, but I think it's really not necessarily a favourite venue, but a venue where you can go in. It's a blank canvas, and you can do what you want to. I mean, when I first started, I was going into venues all over the place, and things have changed now anyway. But you know, like the awful carpet, the awful curtains that you think, why did somebody pick this as part of a wedding venue? Whereas now it's better, like you go in and it is a blank canvas and you feel like you can be really creative and you're not sort of stuck to what's already there. You can just complement it.
Brilliant. And what was the most memorable event so far?
Most memorable event? I think probably Mahi Fest, which was a first birthday and housewarming. And when they first came to me to say they were having this kind of garden party, but actually it was a festival. It was a big sailcloth, it was really brightly coloured.
Oh my gosh.
They had a glitter bar, they had cocktails, it was amazing, and it was just a brilliant setup. And actually there was a thing on the Rectum website that somebody was complaining, thinking it was a sausage and cider festival, but it was actually their birthday party. And that was really good, that was great.
Yeah, amazing. And I think really what most people would want to know in terms of if there were couples getting married, what's the top tips from a wedding stylist or an event stylist which you need to watch out for when you're booking your wedding?
I think you've got to pick the suppliers that work for you, so because you're going to be working with them for obviously the duration up to your wedding. When you're doing your styling, don't feel like you have to fill every single room with lots and lots of things. It's statement pieces, nice bits on your table and stuff that can be repurposed. So the wedding that we did last week, we were repurposing the frames. We split the frames in two. They really got their money's worth in terms of it, and it looked really lovely.
And you can do personalised packages, can't you, for certain couples?
Yeah, so we have bespoke packages that we will create for people. We do hire, we do full styling, or anything in between.
You've got a team behind you.
Got a team behind us.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Tara. It's such an honour to have you. And watch this space this summer, because you'll be here a lot and all over the place. Thank you.